Hey y'all, back again in the book of Luke, and tonight we're in chapter 6, and I want to talk about verses 46 and 47. And these verses are on the tail end of Luke giving his account of Jesus giving the Beatitudes. And in Luke 6, Jesus starts talking in verse 20, and 26 verses later is where we are. And I say that to give this illustration of Jesus standing and talking to this crowd of people, just giving instruction. Now remember that the words of Jesus were being written as he was speaking them, so there's no such thing as chapters. To truly catch a grasp of what you're reading means referencing surrounding verses. In this case, verse 46 packs the punch that it does because of verse 45. Jesus is saying, on top of what's in your heart, why do you keep calling me Lord, Lord, when you don't do what it is that I say? In layman's terms, how can I be the supreme authority of your life when all you do are the things that you want to do? Jesus is standing in front of crowds of people saying, I cannot be Lord if you continue to choose to do things against my will by ignoring what it is that I have already given you. Here, Jesus makes the distinction between those that just profess his name and those that actually follow what he says. This is not a rebuke so much of a warning, meaning your spiritual life needs to match your daily life. That's why he says in verse 47, I will show you what it's like when someone comes to me, listens to my teaching, and then follows it. He wants us to understand. He wants to be the one that we build our lives around. He wants us to follow his teachings because everything he said and did while on earth was postured as living a life that led towards God the Father. Yes, he died for our sins and fulfilled God's wrath. And yes, we can say a sinner's prayer and be forgiven, but he doesn't want just our words. He wants our heart. He cannot be the supreme authority over our life and we don't do anything he says to do. And I know that sounds like a bunch of rules and conditions, and you may think, oh, well, I thought God's love was unconditional. Well, let's be a little practical about it. If somebody wanted to be with you and they said they loved you and they wanted to spend the rest of their life with you, but they disrespect you, or they do things that you have repeatedly asked them not to do, better yet, they knowingly do things that are wrong, but then hide behind the excuse of, oh, well, you didn't say that at the beginning. You know, I am so thankful that God's love is not human and that his grace is sufficient, but that does not mean that there are not bounds that we need to abide by when it comes to understanding his deep, deep love for us. We are all called to profess the name of the Lord, and when that day comes for every knee to bow, we will bow because we love him, or we're going to bow because we're made to. Being a Christian is not about the religion. It's about the relationship of learning what it looks like to live a life that looked like Christ.